So V-poles are one of the most commonly used tools to help improve your horse's jumping technique. They're widely recognized to improve your horse's technique in front, but all horses react slightly differently to them. So in some cases, as well as sharpening your horse's technique up in front, they will get your horse jumping round or over the jump, as well as opening their technique up behind. So you can see why they would be so widely used. I like to use a panel under a pole, as seen in this image. It just makes the jump seem a little more solid, which will accentuate the effect of the V-poles. If you don't have a panel, you can use two poles, just one under the other, as shown in this image. I often have two poles close together like this anyway. Makes the top of the jump look a little more solid and makes them a little more careful. So this is basically how you set it up. You can also keep the poles slightly wider apart in the middle, especially for the first few times you use them. However, you always want them nice and wide at the base, at least as wide as the jump. But I also like to go about a foot wider on each side. Make sure they are in the center of the jump as well. Also, don't forget to give the jump a nice generous ground line, which for those of you that are not sure what that is, it's the pole on the ground, placed about a foot away from the jump. So you always start really nice and low, and slowly increase the height as you and your horse become more confident doing them. Don't ever go higher than you usually jump your horse at home either. So the way you ride them is exactly the way you'd ride any other vertical, no different. Try avoid getting really deep to them though, because your horse will have to work a bit too hard to clear them and may lose a bit of confidence. I like to ride V-poles on a circle, and remember to jump them equally on both reins. What you can also do to make sure you get a nice ride into the V-poles is place a little cavaletti around 18 paces away from the jump. This will give you a nice even 4 strides to the jump. You can make it slightly more or less than the 18 paces as well, depending on your horse's stride length. The aim is to get a nice even 4 strides to the jump. I also sometimes like to use V-poles on the second part of a related distance or the second part of a double combination. This will teach your horse to back itself off a bit and be a little bit more careful at the second part of the related distance or double. So in short, V-poles will sharpen up your horse's technique in front. They also can get them to jump a bit rounder over the jump, and in some cases get them to open up their technique behind. They're also good for horses that tend to dive at the jump. They will teach the horse to back himself off a bit.